Hello, class. My name is Chad Dunction, and I want to welcome you to Economics 210, a study of macroeconomics. I am excited to be your instructor for this class. I was asked at the last minute to fill in for this role. So let me tell you a little bit about me. I am a first-year instructor at McMurray. I recently graduated from Illinois State University last May with my master's of professional accountancy degree. I found there while I was helping students through their classes, I became a tutor in the accounting department, that was a passion of mine, that I really wanted to help students and help this next generation come up and prepare them for their future. So teaching was the logical choice for me. McMurray College was the place that gave me that opportunity, and this past semester, I taught 4 different accounting classes. This is my first venture into online teaching. This class was already pre-made and pre-set up for me. Before I took over by the previous instructor, I have reviewed all the material. I like the way it was set up. I'm going to go with it. I have tested out many links and everything, but I have not gotten a chance to get through everything possible in the course. So if anytime you run into any troubles or anything like that, please reach out to me. Okay, so in order to reach out to me, a little bit more about me, I am located in the Jenkins Educational Complex, room 119. My office hours are Monday and Wednesday from 11 to 1, and Tuesday and Thursday, 10 to 11 and 1 to 2, okay? Or you can make an appointment with me. My phone number and email address and cell phone number are in the syllabus. You can reach out to me through any of those modes, and I will usually respond within 4 hours and no later than 24 hours. Text is perfectly fine, and it will get you the quickest response. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what we are going to do this semester, okay? This semester, we are going to study macroeconomics. So what is macroeconomics? Macroeconomics is an aggregate or an average of what happens in an entire economy. Now you compare that to microeconomics, which talks about the individual units within the economy. So there you're talking about like businesses or households or even industries. But when we talk about macro, we aggregate them all together, and then we're going to talk about what happens with nations, okay? And we're going to talk about world problems and stuff like that. And whether you're a business major, a political science major, or even if you're undecided, economics is a great thing to know. If you follow politics at all, you'll watch the news and they'll say elections are all about the economics, what's going on with the economy. So we're going to talk about a lot of those things you hear about, maybe give you a greater understanding of how the world works overall in the business concept, okay? Context, I should say. Some of the terms and some of the stuff we're going to be doing are going to be making graphs of the laws of increasing costs, or the production possibility curves, okay? We're also going to learn about how GDP is calculated, which is something you hear an awful lot about on the news, which is based off of what consumers buy, what companies invest back into their businesses, what the government spends, and what our net exports are, okay? And then we're going to talk about the economic equilibrium, because there are many restrictions and agencies put in place that are set to govern our economy, because economies do not want to fluctuate. You do not want to see an economy that goes up and down. You want one that kind of stays pretty level. So when we get into talking about that, we will discuss fiscal policy and monetary policy, okay? Monetary policy is when you hear people talk about banks and the Federal Reserve and upping and lowering interest rates and the things they do in order to control how much money is actually in circulation. When we're talking about fiscal policy, we're going to talk about what governments do, how governments cause people to behave, maybe through tax incentives or outlawing certain products or setting caps or subsidizing. There's many different ways that governments make fiscal policy in order to help to keep an economy steady. It should be an interesting study. There is a lot of material. It is an 8-week class, so we are going to move things through things very quickly. Um, a little bit on how the class is set up. Every week is going to be set up exactly the same, okay? You're going to have a discussion board, some exercise questions, and multiple choice questions. Throughout the course, there are 2 quizzes, and there will be 1 final exam that is comprehensive throughout everything, okay? This is all listed in your syllabus, so you can go back and look at this and get a detail of how this breaks down. In the syllabus, it lists each thing as a percent. So you can reference back to this video to see how these percents are going to break down into points, okay? So for example, the discussion board is worth 25% of your grade according to the syllabus. Well, in total, there are 800 points. So there are 200 points allocated to the discussion board, okay? There is 8 weeks of discussion, so that means each discussion board is going to be worth 25 points. The same thing is for the exercises at 25 points. The multiple choice is only 20% of your grade. Those are 10 questions each at the end of the chapter. There is 8 of them, so they will be worth a total of 160 points or 20 points each. Okay? There are 2 quizzes assigned. The first quiz comes in week 4, which will cover all the previous chapters. Again, it is 10 multiple choice questions, but this quiz will be worth 40 points. The biggest difference between the quizzes and the multiple choice is that the multiple choice is going to give you 3 opportunities to get the questions right, whereas in the quiz, you are only going to get 1 chance. And you're going to have a second quiz with the same set of rules coming at the end of week 7. Okay. The final exam, as I said, is comprehensive. It is worth 20% of the grade, so it is 160 points as well. Those total up to 800, and it is a simple 90, 80, 70, 60 grading scale. All this information can be found in the syllabus, and you can get a hold of me if you have any questions. One last thing I want to mention, the detailed weekly assignments are listed pretty well on Moodle, okay? Everything is broken down into weeks, and if you read through, it's going to tell you what you have to do, and it's going to have the appropriate links. The discussion board rubric is found in your syllabus. That is what I want to discuss real quick. I have found in my time as a student that I did not really enjoy discussion boards as part of my class. It wasn't that I did not enjoy doing them, but I found that my fellow students very often gave short responses and didn't engage me in the way that I felt I should be engaged. So when I am grading your discussion board posts, I'm looking for thoughtful insight to the original question. And then when you go back to make a response, I want thoughtful insight to that. It is okay to start your response with, I agree with what you said, or what you said makes perfect sense, but you should expand on that. Maybe give another example. Maybe say, I agree with this part, but something you said here, I have a little different point of view on. It is something to provoke thought, provoke discussion, and in the process, you're going to find that your communication skills overall improve. It's going to help with your writing skills because I do expect professional writing, short text, textual punctuation, stuff like that. This is a classroom setting. The syllabus does have a section on etiquette as well, so please review it and follow it as appropriate. As the semester goes along, I will be adding more videos as I see necessary or appropriate. I may even jump into your discussion board posts every now and then to give a few thoughts and maybe move the discussion along in a way that maybe it wasn't going and I think it needs to go. But I look forward to a great semester, and I think this is going to be a great experience for me, being my first year doing an online class, and I look forward to working with you.